Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Steph Crosley for today's segment of Ask Steph. Now, I received tons of emails from people who I know and people I don't know who are seeking neutral and unbiased advice. So I figured I'd use my platform to encourage and promote healthy and honest dialogue around topics that we all may have went through or topics that we all can learn from. All questions are submitted anonymously. Some are personal, some are general. While you're here, make sure you subscribe to Steph Crosley on YouTube. You like me on Facebook at Steph Crosley, or follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat at Love Queen Steph. Don't forget to comment and share your thoughts, because in a social media driven world, real talk does exist. Question 1. Does everyone cheat? And does cheating make a person a bad person? Now, you have to keep in mind, we began dating in our early years, and we date over our lifetime. So I wouldn't be truthful if I said I didn't believe that at some time in our lives we cheat in some capacity, at least once, because we're human. And then we have to define cheating. In the Urban Dictionary, cheating is defined as someone who is in a committed relationship that breaks the trust of their partner by indulging in physical or emotional intimacy with someone else. And then you have to take that a little deeper, because we all have our own definition of cheating based on what we can and cannot tolerate. Now, for some people, you'll have two couples here where, one of the people in the relationship, they may like a bunch of posts on social media, they may flirt on social media, and their spouse is okay with that. But then you'll have two other people, and they're like, that couldn't be me, not at all. Don't have me looking stupid. So it's all about what you can tolerate and what you can't. I don't think that cheating makes a person a bad person. I honestly think that cheating once is a mistake. Because, let's be honest, there's so much temptation out in the world, and I don't want to be oblivious to that fact. I'm not condoning cheating. I'm not saying it's okay to cheat. Let's just bring the facts. There are a lot of great people out, and it's so easy to be distracted by that 20% that you aren't getting in your household. But, I don't think it makes a person a bad person. Now, a person who continues to cheat with no regards to their significant other's feelings or emotions, I'm questioning their character. I think that is a selfish person, and I think that's a trait that isn't the best trait to have while in a relationship. But it is something I think that we all can work on, and that person can work on. But again, it's all about what you can tolerate and what you can't. Doesn't make a person a bad person unless they continuously cheats. That means you probably should leave. But yeah, that's my response. Question 2. What advice would you give a woman who is chasing their dream while trying to support other women, but the support is not being reciprocated? I think that support is a personal choice. I think that's something that is within, and you want to be completely truthful in your acts of supporting. So support those people that, it's coming from a genuine place. I don't think that we should look at support as tit for tat. Like, oh, you're not supporting me, so I'm not supporting you. I think people don't support for 3 reasons. 1, just lack of awareness. And as crazy as that may sound, because I know you can feel as though you posted something on social media 17 times, people should see it. That's not exactly how social media works. And that's what I found out, just having conversation. I'm like, well, I posted it. You had to have seen it. And they're like, nope. But there's different options on social media where you can opt out of seeing certain things. So it could be done unintentionally. 2, some people just genuinely can't support your cause or your service, or don't have a purpose to support it. And that's okay, because we're not obligated to support everyone. And that, it's just the way the world works sometimes. We're not obligated to support anyone. That's why I always say make sure you're putting out a product or service that you are truly passionate about. And you have to give people a reason to support you. And 3, in all honesty, some people don't support because they don't want to see you win, unfortunately. But I say stick to what you believe in. work day in, day out on your product. Make people feel bad for not supporting you. That's how good your product should be. When they think of, if this is your pen, make sure you present this as the best pen possible, to where anyone around you, anytime they hear mention of a pen, they think of you. But don't get sidetracked, because that's one of our big issues nowadays. We get sidetracked. We put too much energy on the negative, so we focus on the people who aren't supporting us, that we forget about the people who are supporting us. So think about the people who are supporting you. Think about why they are supporting you, and continue to feed off of that energy. We can't focus on people who aren't supporting us. Women empowerment is everything. I believe that women should support women, just because we understand each other. We know what it's like to be a woman in today's society. So just based on that strength, we should support each other, but everyone doesn't think that way. So if you truly and you are passionate about that thought, continue to support others. And I guarantee you, even if it's not today, that support will begin to pour in. Just always stay faithful. Thank you. Question 3, is it possible to be friends with someone you love? Absolutely. Think about the friendships you have now. You love all of those people. And I personally think that exes make for the best friends. However, it takes time, and it takes for you both to move on internally before you can revisit that friendship. And please note, moving on does not mean wait until that person's in a relationship, wait till you're in a relationship, and then you guys can be friends. Absolutely not, because some of us move on way too quick, that we're not even over the current situation, so that friendship isn't going to work. I do think that, exes make for the best friends, because you experience so much with the person you're with. Think of all the situations you've been through with just your ex that you didn't even tell your closest friends that you guys actually went through that. So for that reason alone, I think your ex is qualified to be a best friend. It just, again, takes for you guys to truly have moved on and have learned to fall out of love with each other before you can love each other again. I think, your emotions, when you're around that person, you should not get emotionally tied, or you should not be emotionally affected when that person does X, Y, and Z. If that is still happening, you guys are not in a space to be friends. Because think about some of your friends now, your close friends who you are not in a relationship with. When they do the same thing, are you upset? Does that upset you? Does it frustrate you that they talk to this person? If it's not, that's a friendship. If your ex's behavior still triggers some type of emotional reaction out of you, you're not ready. And that's okay. That's okay, because it takes a long while to fall out of love with someone. But once you have fallen out of love with that person, you can look at that person and just be like, you know what? We're better off as friends. You're ready to be friends with that person. But yeah, I'm an advocate for exes being friends, especially those who, you tried, you put forth the effort. It is what it is. Life goes on. Do not dwell on shoulda, woulda, coulda. It did not work. Leave that in the past. Work to rebuild yourself first. You have to rebuild yourself first, because in relationships we tend to lose ourselves. We tend to be everything we think that other person wants, and when we are not what they want, we resent them for it. And I think that's where the underlying anger come from, because when they leave us, it's like, but I did this and I did that and I did that. That's not who you are. And because that's not who you are, it's not going to work. So you have to peel back those layers, figure out who you are, get back to who you are, and then start to build on that. That same person, your ex, they have to peel back those layers, really figure out who they are, and then continue to build on that. And then you guys can come back, and then you guys can be wonderful friends. I'm a strong believer of that. And yeah, just be 100% honest with your emotions too. Don't be like, we're not together, so we can be friends. It doesn't work that way. Okay? You have to make sure your emotions for that person, that person does not trigger anything for you before you guys can get to that point. Thank you. All right, thank you all for tuning in for Real Talk with Steph Crosley. Make sure you guys stay updated by following me at stephcrosley.com.